Hello, YouTubers. Cynthia Micah bring you a new podcast to my favorite called The Naruto Reveal. And like always, this podcast is brought to you by School U Productions. And like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly in case you don't understand it. Now, once again, before I begin, I'd like to say sorry for the wait. Now, the YouTube website that I watched for the new episodes of Naruto. Didn't post last week's episode on their website. So basically, I had to went to a new website to watch last week's episode of Naruto. So I'm sorry about that. So sorry for once again. Sorry for the wait. Now let's get to this episode. This episode is episode 436. Now, when we last off Naruto, with Lady Tsunade and Mr. and Lady Tsunade Dream World. Lady Tsunade is reading Jiraiya's his manuscript about the mission that 13 Naruto, that Naruto and his friends, about a mission that Naruto and his friends was on. So basically, she picked up where Naruto and Neji was in this voice space with a guy with a shirt with a Bakugan eye wearing a Obito mask. So assuming, according to what I read from the manga and other manga sources, and Lady Tsunade's Dream World, that is Obito. So basically, I'm just going to since he's had on the Obito mask, he's Obito. So anyway, Obito was asking Neji to join him, but Neji and Naruto watching Neji join you because the hidden beast, but it's have a bunch of lies, been lying about certain, had a bunch of lies about your father and shit, and about your father and shit, etc., and that was like, what about my father? And Obito said, I will show you. So Naruto and Neji follow Obito. So anyway, meanwhile, Team Jiraiya and Shikamaru's group was still doing battle with the two monsters to try to save the boys. So Team Jiraiya and Shikamaru's group worked together to save the boys. Save the boys from one. And save the boys from one of the monsters and destroy one of them. So they got the boys. So they got the boys safely to dry land, and the boys were thankful for them for saving them. But the second monster charged at them, and that's when Nagi went use his Form and made that monster blow up into pieces. I shit you not. He literally used his ray gun to make the monster to blow up into pieces. Pain, Kamo, and Shikamaru, and the boys had these shocked faces when they saw Nagi use his funny gun to make the monster blow up into pieces. So anyway, both groups got the boys to reunite the boys back with their mother, and they headed to the crew, headed deep into the forest and had a little chat. And that's when Pain said, I doubted you guys. Sorry, we misjudged you guys. So we thought you were just like any other Lee Shinobi and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Blah blah blah, and Kamaru said you guys call yourselves Team Jiraiya, so yeah, and Pain told him that we were trained by the Toad Sage, the great Toad Sage Jiraiya. So just like him, we wonder who run the world as free Shinobi and shit like that, blah blah blah. But anyway, Shikamaru just came out and asked, are you the guys behind the opinions of our senseis? And Pain answered no. We're not behind the disappearance of your sensei. So and that's what Shikamaru said good, and that's when Shikamaru his good part put the kunais and say, put out the kunais and pointing at Team Jiraiya, and Pain was like, what's the meaning of this? Like, you guys started to fight with us, so it's best we should finish it, and that's what Pain noticed. He said, fine with me, but you guys are still at a disadvantage. And that's when they heard Ikamaru talk, and Shikamaru said, look like our backup is about to arrive. So anyway, once they turned around, Team Jiraiya was gone, and that's when another group showed up, and it's like, hey, what's going on here? Like, and Shikamaru said nothing. We did nothing. Act like there was nothing was going on. Like, and that's when that's what Kiba and Akamaru smell Team Jiraiya was here and shit like that, it's like me and Akamaru smell three strangers. Strangers was here with you guys. And Shikamaru said, don't worry about them. We might see them later. So anyway, Shikamaru says me to go on the move with the others, and me to want to move with the others. So meanwhile, back in the empty village, we see Sasuke, Sakura, Rocky, Tenzin were still standing there where Naruto and Neki disappeared into that void. So anyway, Sasuke suggests that we to rendezvous with the others and go back to the Leaf Village and report what's going on here and come back with reinforcements. And that's we'll come back with reinforcements. And that's when Lee said, are we gonna leave? Are we gonna? We just can't leave our comrades. And Sasuke said, "Don't worry about our comrades; they'll be fine." Especially Naruto, Sasuke acting like he didn't care about Naruto and shit. And that's when Lee got pissed off, and Tenshin was holding Lee back for holding Lee back. That way he won't punch Sasuke in the face, and Lee was trying to get free from Tenshin, he was trying to get free from Tenshin, let him go, and shit like that, Tenshin was trying to stop Lee from punching Sasuke in the face. And that's when Lee called Sasuke a cold-hearted bastard. How you gonna leave your teammate behind like this, and you don't act like you don't give a shit? And that's when Sasuke look at Sasuke with that face and Lee's right, and Sasuke is still acting like he doesn't care about Naruto. It just turned his head, and Lee got more pissed off. He started and tried to get free from Tenshin's grip and shit, but Tenshin was holding on to Lee very tightly, though. So anyway, he's still in the board division. Naruto and Neji fought over to this door, and they Obito showed a flashback, showing a flashback. Now, in Lady Tsunade 3, this episode is what this episode turns out in Lady Tsunade 3, in the Lady Tsunade 3 was that Tsunade's father didn't tell Neji the truth about how Neji's father died, and Naruto they had the episode during the Teenage fight, after Neji lost to Naruto, the father gave her the scroll and told Neji the truth, how his father died and shit, blah blah blah. But Obito used that but in Legend Zero, and Neji did not know the truth about his didn't know the truth about how his father died. So anyway, so they're showing a flashback. Turns out just like in the Origin episode, in the Origin episode, Hinata's father killed a ninja who tried to kidnap Hinata. Back he was a little girl. Her father killed the spy. Turned out that spy was part of the village that they recently had a peace treaty with. So that village of the death flame that the person who killed the least alternate is forcing them to brought to him that way they can kill him. So basically, Neji's father being not his father's twin took his place, and took his place. So therefore that was the whole flashback that Obito showed Naruto and Neji. So once the flashback was over, and Obito asked to, you see the lies, you see the lies, you see the true. You see the lies that was kept from you, Neji. So basically, about the hidden leaf village, about your father, about the real death of your father, about the real death of your father and shit. So basically, Obito once again asked Neji, would you join me? And that's when we cut to Jiraiya somewhere in his ninja battle outfit out in front of Orochimaru's headquarters and he said, I finally found you, Orochimaru, and this is how the episode ended. So anyway, this is Sincere Michael signing off. By the way, this episode was kind of confusing, but it was an okay episode. So anyway, this is Sincere Michael signing off.